Doing? How you doing, Sarah?
Good. How are you?
Good. Did you get hit by that water?
We did get rain last night, yes, but no flooding, at least like what you see on the news.
Oh my God, devastation.
I know.
That's crazy. It's
Hmm.
like, what the hell happened?
Hmm. Hmm.
Man, one little storm.
I know. Yeah.
Jesus, just think there were multiple of those things. My God,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
crazy. So, where are you? You in Virginia or
Virginia.
where? Okay.
Yep.
All
Just
right.
right on the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And you didn't get hit. No, no surges, huh?
None that we saw. I mean, we got a little bit of flooding, but not terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Um. Hey, I see your painting back there of this one.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks good from here.
I added more flowers after looking at yours.
Oh,
And
well.
I made the trees bigger. I don't know if you can see, but
Oh, not much. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that really looks great though. Really nice piece. Good, good going. Okay, let's see. I don't think let's see when I get my rest of my stuff up here. Oh, it's just you and me so far. Wow. And we're just no, we're not early even. I'm late. So let me get this send my get this going here. Get up my other one done. I'll get my phone done and we'll be good.
Cindy's here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Good morning. For some reason, I wouldn't.
There's somebody showed up. Morning, Cindy. Okay. Oh. Right. And we are set. Yeah, okay. Well, just go over this reclaim host here. Where'd Cindy go? She's gone. She came and left. Guess she too bad. Anyway, she'll be here soon. Yeah, last week's, yeah, you did a really great job, Sarah. Yeah, mine, I didn't really do too much more. I just hit a couple flowers on it, and that's about it. Nothing major. Color changes. Probably could have done some more work, but that's all I could. All I got going on down that one, so that was good enough.
Jim, good morning,
really?
Jim. But I keep getting knocked off of this. Is something going on with this? It's goofy.
Just you.
Oh well, that's not very good.
Sarah's been here the whole time, and we got other people showing up. Just you. There we go. We got Anne Marie's here.
Hi.
See, the gang's all here. We're ready to go. So, anyway, yeah. Oh, well, here, since you get, give you guys another one more look. Okay, since Cindy got knocked off and stuff, this is what we painted last week.
Yeah.
I was just mentioning that I really didn't do much to the painting afterwards or anything. I really just, maybe tighten up a few spots. I think of course, I think I added a few more flowers, and but not not detail. I didn't really add detail. I just added a couple more flowers here and there. So it's not a big difference in that painting from where we left it. Today we are going to do one more flower thing. I'm sorry. I know I mentioned about doing animals on last week, but I just just this is our last class for the session. So said we'd go out on a high note instead of leaving everybody like you know, when you do an animal and stuff, I only can get about halfway, and it just seems like, you know, I kind of leave you guys in a bad spot. So I'd rather do something that I can know we'll be able to do a nice job on, feel good about when we're done painting it. Next week though, if you guys want to join in, we can paint again, but it's not like a part of the class anymore. This is the last one of the 6. But we'll talk about that later. So this is where we're going to go. This is from, again, as you can tell, a lot of these classes were all from France. This is where Monet, this place we're painting here is where Monet went, ordered his lilies for his lily pond. This is a really real fancy, well, yeah, not real fancy, but it was probably at the time. But it's been there forever. It seems like, I guess the place, I'm kind of forgetting the name of it. I'll send it to you guys. Yeah, this horticulturist guy who made all these lilies, he figured out how to design all these different colored lilies and stuff, and this place was just full of them. It had giant vats of all these different colored lilies in all over this grounds and stuff. It was like a park now, and so we were walking around the place. We saw all kinds of you know, what is it? Those other kind of lilies and some other things. Yeah. But it had waterfalls and some other stuff in place. It was pretty interesting. We all went to try to paint there, but it wasn't really a great place to paint. It was more a really great place to take a lot of reference shots. So I painted one of these already, and then so I was going to paint this one for you guys. Work with you guys on this one. So let's get to it. And of course, I know I did not. Sorry, 1 second. I got to pull it up. I got to come over and get to my emails and pull it up. Oh. I think I'd be better at this by now. Okay. So we'll pull it up and we'll go over it. All right. Yeah. This is just one of, like I said, many vats of different colored lilies and stuff. And this one was right when we were walking in. This is one of these shots I took when I was just walking into the place because I just thought it was so cool. I just like the idea of these reeds or this plant standing there. Almost you can't tell the plant from the reflection. It's slight degree of change in color here, you know, from this area to this area in the reflection. Not by, you know, it's not gonna. We can probably almost get away with not changing it, but we will change it. But I mean, you probably almost get by without it. Let's see. Yeah, what I really like, yeah, that reflection, and then this reflection here, this really nice triangle of dark reflection, which is really just a nice shape. And then you have the light shape of the sky reflecting down, and then you have these transparencies down in here. Were also cool to look at. I mean, just really interesting things. And then you have this green up here, this warm green that's up in the corner. These guys are going to be are interesting to paint because of how we're going to be able to handle them, how we're going to be able to gradate one color from the purple to this green and warm green, and then, you know, inside there get, you know, start to get transparencies through the water. One of the things with doing transparencies, one of the things is just remember that there's pretty no real hard edges in those anything underwater and stuff. It's going to be have a little bit of a fog around it, so it's just a soft edge around that, and to hit that and make sure that that comes across that it is a soft edge. That's where you hit hard edges around other things, like especially lily pads. Lily pads, really, if you can get the angle right of these guys, as you can see, these guys as a circle, it's just a slight oval. I mean, if you do it in a circle, it would probably be more like this. So it's like a squished down circle a little bit. So that means we're got a slight angle. So if you can keep that oval for most of these guys, you'll be fine. Ones back in here, you have to be at skinnier ovals. But down in here, pretty much these guys can stay about the same ovalness. So that perspective you won't lose that. All right, I only have one lily in here, so that's pretty much has to be a pretty good star. We're gonna have to really, do it at the end and probably spend 2 seconds on it. That's probably what we'll end up, but that's okay. I wasn't really going crazy over this lily anyway. I was really just love the shadow and the lily pads on top of it and the water underneath. Those 3 layers I thought were really interesting, and so that's what really I was looking at. So it's gonna be interesting to do, and there's a few other areas back in here. In this green shadow and stuff. I know it's a shadow, but it's a reflection of a tree, and it's always weird to see when you get a dark color like this. You can see a lot of stuff in there, down in the ground and things, but over here, it's the light that we can see. We can only see stuff down in here in light. So that's really kind of a nice, interesting twist to it. That most of this shadow here, this strong shadow of that plant, we don't get a lot of things to see underneath it. So that's a really nice painting ways. Nice little thing to know, because when we paint it, then we don't have to, worry about stuff underneath. Okay, how we're going to attack this paint wise. All these ovals, like I said, are pretty much the same, can be really close together. A lot of times there's just going to be, brushwork wise, just a difference in pressure to make them go from a big round to a skinnier one back in here. It's really just a different pressure of on the brush, and twist the brush. So down in here, it's going to be a lot of muscle memory down here, putting those guys in. Also, they're going to probably be one of the last things we paint, because I don't want to paint around every one of these guys. No one wants to do that. So what we're going to do is pretty much going to paint without it. We're just going to forget that they're there, because they don't reflect, because they are so on top of the water. They do not reflect. They might cause a shadow underneath here, but not on this gray day. They're not doing too much. So we're going to take and put those guys in at the end. And if we want to, if we need to do any really drawing parts of those guys, we'll just erase them out. If we're going to have a problem, we're just going to erase them out and put them in. So basically, we're just going to do do the background just like that. You know, we're gonna tone in those things. You don't have to worry about these little things from the trees and stuff coming down or bushes. Don't have to worry about those. Those guys are nothing to put in. This thing too, it's interesting to look at. Not sure what it is. So it's always one of those things. If you don't know what it is, it might not be, really worth putting in. And it doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, I don't mind this section, a little thing up here, but this thing coming down here, I'm just not too interested in. Doesn't really do much for me. Anyway, because we're going to be painting sections of this thing. Definitely we can put in this section first, the darks, the plants, the greens. When we get to this area here, we're going to start off really darks and stuff. And then as we go into here, we're probably just going to shift over a color as we get to the front side of that plant in the shadow here, the bottom of on the painting and stuff. When we get down to here, that's when we'll start to shift colors and bring another color in and stuff. I'm just going to nice simple gradation, because most of this stuff base is going to go away anyway. Most of it's going to be there's not much detail in this area here. So the gradations are going to be pretty simple from here to here. That's what I was trying to say, because a lot of things are going to go away when you start putting these things on top. But it's nice to have some gradation in there. Stuff, it kind of shows down in here a little bit better. Then we'll be doing the same thing with the water. And the water, as you can see how beautifully that comes in here. That comes in like this, and then goes around the thing. And it warms up as it comes down in here. It warms up, kind of darkens up too, a little purplier in here, and then kind of grays out back in here. That's really a simple color change. That's just really a lot of times just adding a little white. There is a little bit of warmth in here too. We'll have to take care of, but a lot of this stuff here and here, is the same color as almost back and down here. Really, it's just a different way of how you put it in. If you put this in by itself, it'll be fine. You can really get that strength of color right here. But if you put it on top of this color, this grayed out, this purple here, if you put this color here and put it on top of these areas here, it's going to mix with on the palette and stuff. So you're going to get a nice gradation of colors. They're going to be, so you won't have to do too much red. So that's really kind of simple. I'm trying to tell you how to do it, but it's going to be that way. And then the greens up here is pretty much the exact same thing, except in green. Okay. And then we're going to erase out the things. Design-wise, I was talking about, I like the design and stuff. All the lines, any of the lines here, go in at the end. Don't even think about them. Keep everything as simple as possible. We do have right here this little cement little piece here that basically separates the vats. Big old cement things. Yeah, they're huge. But, I'm just thinking about taking it out, not even worrying about it. But I'm going to take it out. And then if it got to be in there, if I feel like it has to be back in there, it's a, pretty easy thing to put in. So let's not paint around it. Okay. Yeah, well, there'll be a color change. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's go on. Any questions? Except for the ones I just made up. I just made myself up a bunch of questions there. Okay. Let's get out of here and get over the palette. All right. Going to be going with pretty much our regular colors on this one. Again, we'll be starting with titanium white, cad yellow light, cad red light. This is cad medium, light medium. Just happens to be a leftover from a painting. Cad orange, oxide red light, alizarin crimson or rosemary, rose madder deep, cobalt blue hue right here, phthalo green on the blue side. This is transparent oxide red here. Then I got some other ones up there, but I'm not going to probably be using. But this, well, this one, if you want, it might come in handy. This is well, this is oxide red. This is oxide brown, transparent oxide brown right here. It's almost like burn. It's basically burnt umber. And then this is some orange ochre. But those colors you don't have to have. Some big brushes. These guys will do pretty much all the damage. Paint eraser, just in case. Some synthetics really come in handy when you want to start cutting out things, make some sharp edges. These guys are the ones to go with. These guys are good for, these are bristle brushes. Basically, they're going to do a lot of the scratchy stuff and things you need to have texture in and things and soft edges, interesting edges. So here we go, color-wise. Here's what we're repainting. Let's mix up some darks. I'm going to go for these red greens here first. Gonna make two versions of those, one on the red side, one on the green side. I'm going to start off with alizarin and phthalo green on this one. So I'm going to put out two colors and then go with bring in the red on one side. This color, when we knock it down to with white, will definitely be pretty much all this sky. So red and green pushed together, making a one on the blue side, one green side, and one on the red side. A little bit better. All right, so we need a couple more other greens, red greens and warm greens. So we're going to keep going with that. We're going to go with oxide red and phthalo green. Probably don't need to go quite that red today. Could be a little bit more on the greener side. But just being able to have a slight change from warmth, because this will get us, this is going to do a lot of the damage in here. It does need a little more red in there. Just took it all out. Okay. Okay, so you can sort of see some red green in there. As we go to get to some of these other greens over here, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to do instead of doing phthalo green out first, I'm going to put transparent oxide out. Transparent oxide red out. This is oxide. This is not this is just oxide red. This is transparent oxide red. And when I bring in the green, I'm just gonna bring it in pretty slow because it'll just overpower this oxide red transparent color pretty quickly. But that's going to be going in those areas probably. But so here we go. Now I just need to get just a little bit lighter color to do these shadows there at all together. And there's going to be phthalo green and cad orange. At least going to start there. That's what I'm thinking. I can get this color. That's on the green side. This is on the orange side. I can get that in here. It's pretty close. I think I can get that in here and work with a couple of these colors. These colors should work together pretty well. I'm gonna leave that one really kind of green because I think I can gray these things out. What else? I'm gonna do one more and just do a single version of it. Just cad red and phthalo green. I'm just hedging a bet here, really, more than anything else, because I'm going, right back in here. I see this warmth, and I go, I know it's probably this color. I probably could get away with oxide red light, but sometimes the richness of a color, I just can't get it. It'll come in handy. All right, that's pretty much. This will take care of all the water pretty much too. We're just going to take it down, brighten these guys up. Some of these greens back in here are going to be not getting a ton of light, a lot of water. Let's do this first. Let's just take all these colors and split them. And I'm just going to add probably enough white to get them probably to a 9, 8 or 9. So it's just a little bit of, this is like for reflection. This is like how these would be 10s. These would be basically 9s. Some of these colors probably don't get any. I probably don't have to do too much with these guys at all. But that's okay. We're just going to switch these guys around, do a few things. These guys back here, these three here, pretty much don't get anything. They're pretty much right there where they need to be to do all that stuff. But anyway, I'm just going to add just a little bit of white to these guys, just to shift them around. Even these guys, these colors here, they're not really in play too much in this area here. What I'll probably end up doing is taking these guys, the second row in the alizarin and the phthalo green, and I'll probably be, really lightening them up a lot more. But right now I'm just going through what I usually do. This is supposed to be on the red side, and as you can see, it's not right there. It needs to be on the red side. So I'm going to add just a little more oxide red light to this one to get it right. See that? Then I go right there. That's right. This is wrong. Might go just a little bit more red into it, and I might even shift. Yeah, see, now I nailed it. So this one needs to go a little redder too. It doesn't have to be quite this green. It has a little bit too much green in it. And I just overpowered it a little bit with red. So these two are going to basically switch sides. There we go. So really it was more on the red sides than the green side on the phthalo green and the oxide red. Transparent or regular oxide red. Transparent one, you're not going to get a whole lot. You might be able to get a little bit of reed work on these things here, but and stuff in the water. But let's hold this right there. I'm not going to go very far with that or this. Not very powerful colors, because when you add white, they just go down like that. Not much left, but they'll come in handy in some of this kind of stuff and in the underwater. It's green. Huh. Yeah, that's a powerful color. When you add white to it, nothing happens. Good, strong color. What I was thinking about doing is this, though. Adding enough white to it to start to get it into these areas here. Oh, basically, like what I did here is, well, didn't take off all that phthalo green, but as you can tell, that's exactly the color I needed. It just is cad orange, phthalo green, white, and then just, you know, with these two mixes, I'm going to go back and forth and be able to get pretty much all these guys. And this one is cad red and phthalo green. Look at that. That's a beautiful little gray. That's, you know, that's a nice gray. That's going to be, you can get a lot of these other things in here. I'm not going to really get into the water too much. I might add in here. Let's wait and see. I say that. Let's take these guys up. Okay. We have some lily pads colors already figured out. We have some of the shadows worked out already, which is really good. Now we just got to have the main shadows, main waters here area. And we're going to take these guys. This is phthalo green and alizarin. Oh, I don't need really quite that much. And we're going to hit them with white. Value-wise, this is where we're going to go. These are going to be pretty much, as you can see, they're going to have to go up to 3s and sometimes 4s to 5. So it's going to be between 5s and 3s for this water. A lot of times it can be as simple as going from a blue to a red, switching those two colors, getting the value will change. Even though we think that they're the same value, but even the temperature sometimes can change. Will change the value perception for us. So when we go to something like this is on the phthalo green side. And as you can tell, just a little bit dark, but not by much. Let's see what happens here. Again, works more down in here, the closer, because we're closer of the parts of the water. This is on the alizarin side. You can just see that gray. When they mix perfectly like that, you get just a beautiful gray. And it's cool gray, and it works pretty much anywhere. That's why I'm always making it, because it's one of those magic colors that can go anywhere. It is, like I said, just a little bit on the, needs to be just a little bit more on the red side. It's too close to this blue, so I'm just gonna add some alizarin to it. Mine at least, and then add some more white to counteract the alizarin. So this is really more of a red purple, and it still need to go a little redder. Okay. But
Jim, I
Yeah.
I finally got connected. What's that last color?
this one,
Yeah,
this
those last two.
okay. These last two are nothing but alizarin and phthalo green coming down. This is on the phthalo green side with white to about a 4, and this is on the alizarin side to about a, well, it's really a 5 so far. But we're gonna mix up these values for the water here. They're gonna go back in here, as you can see that one. These guys work really well together, and we'll make up most of that water back here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And I was going to do the same here with this oxide red and phthalo greens. Take these guys up because they're going to end up being here at the bottom, the paint probably. Might have to mix up one more colors and stuff, a few more colors. You know, we didn't do any yellows yet. This is that's gonna be good. And that's what I thought. These are oxide reds and phthalo greens. You're just gonna lighten them up a little bit more. This one just a little too dark, but it was gonna go right in here, as you can see. You can also get into a lot of these lily pads, but let's see what happens. This is oxide red, transparent oxide red, and phthalo green. White. I did not clean my knife very well. I did not even clean it. I needed just a little more green. I was thinking about this color, trying to get it down in this area here a little bit. But that's the brown side. This is on the green side, which is really what I think is going to be closer to it when I finish up lightening it up. That didn't do it. So now it's probably took it too bright, just a touch more green. I'm just going to steal some from this thing. Get it in. Borrow from other piles that don't work. Yeah, it's really close. Let me steal some for this too. That brown's not going to be really any in here at all. As soon as I green it out a little bit, just a touch more. So just stealing from your other piles to tone, get your colors right too. So these two colors now are pretty much the same, but they'll work really good down in here and back in here. They'll end up being, nice little spots. I'm going to green this one just a touch more because it's too close to that one. And yeah, that'll work better down there. I got this basically all the watercolors, shadows down in here, reflections, and then this would be all the light water from cools to warms. Let me take this color here. I did not take this color down. I didn't even take these other ones down too, but I was thinking this one might really hit that one nice. Be in there too. I did not do the red version. I just did a green version. This is a Cad Red and Phthalo Green, and I only did a green version. I'm thinking if I did a red version, what would happen? Yeah, too much red. I could probably get that in there pretty much. Yeah. You never know. It's, you know, even just to have one of those little guys, because a lot of times when I do lily pads, you want to have some secondary colors like this. You know, you got a lot of greens you want to want this, you know, combination of other colors to come into these lily pads. You know, there's definitely purples, and then in the purples, you got to have some reds and stuff. So having some grayed out colors you can put in on the edges and really make a difference. Otherwise, okay, basically the last thing to do is the lily and some of these yellow greens. I think I can get most of the lily here. I'm going to take, this is Cad Orange and Phthalo Green to start off with. Definitely, you can see, not even close. So I'm going to hit it with some yellow. Which will help me get closer to the insides of the lily. And then really, whatever I have on my knife and some white, should start to get me closer to the lily. I mean, the basic lily and stuff. There'll also be, like I said, some shadows and things like that. But those are going to be just come from these colors here. I'm just going to take some oxide red here, or some fake Cad Red here, and just in green, and just gray out a few things for some grayed out versions of this, or green. So I'll tell you how I did this too. So that is, can't go any further. Okay, so I just took on this last color, I took some Cad Red or Cad Orange and Phthalo Green. This is on the Cad Orange side. I just brought it down here and hit it with some Cad Yellow. And then I just, whatever I had left on my knife, just a little scraping, I put it down and add white to it to get it up to the right value, up to the bright value of white. And then with whatever I had left, I was going, well, I got to get the rest, some of these other, parts of the flower. And so I just used some of these grayed out greens and orange reds here and used those guys to into these flowers here a little bit to get some richness here and stuff. So that's that. Okay, so I'm going to go through the colors. We start off with Phthalo Green and alizarin. I just add just a touch of white to each one to this second row. So this really, like, this is a 10, this would be a 9. Really just barely added much white to it. This next one is Phthalo Green and Oxide Red. And really, I think we were saying it's going to be really closer to the red side than the green side. Okay. Over here, we went transparent oxide red up here with green. just a hair of green, and brought it down. Basically, just and then these guys I did add a little bit more white to because they really are not going to be. They don't need any. They're already light as it is in the spectrum of things, so I didn't add too much white to these colors. These guys up here are going to end up being okay. So this is transparent oxide red with phthalo green, and it's a little bit of white. This is cat orange and phthalo green. A lot of cat orange, just a little bit of cat orange. So you get this really cool version, and then you get this really warm version. Those two mixed together as we go, different little pieces, will end up being a lot of these, a lot of the lily pads. So, same over here, just little mixes of this color. This is cad red and phthalo green. And those two mixes together. So that's just going to be a lot of little intermixing at the end to get all the colors right. I mean, to get these guys, and they'll all work great together. I took these all these colors down here, and then I really brightened them up to get the watercolors, the values for these things. Over here we have oxide red or alizarin and phthalo green here. They really make a cool gray. Over here we have some transparent regular oxide red light and phthalo green, and they make a more warmer grays. These guys will come forward. These guys will be closer to in here, and these guys will be back in here. And then I have a couple more warmed up colors for this very bottom one. But those guys came from the transparent oxides and greens, and this came from cad red and phthalo green with these two colors. This one, I was thinking of getting down in here, but it might be just a touch too light. Whatever. These guys will also come in and get into some of the top area of these lilies when we get going. So like I said, the lily color is basically down in here. I just took a scraping from cad orange and phthalo green here on the cad orange side, and then added cad yellow to it. So cad yellow, regular cad yellow light to it. And then took that color, put a little scraping of it down, and added a ton of white to get this kind of more creamier version of it. Took pieces of that and added some reds and added some greens to it for some of the pieces, some of the leaves, some of the things going on the outside there. Just getting off that. So that's the colors. Pretty simple, nothing too much. Basically, we will see what we can do. Let's get going. Get everything up and running over here. Bring you guys in. Get you guys. How about it? Can't get. Yeah, even that's too close. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're gonna start off, I'm gonna tone canvas. I want to gray out my purples a little bit more instead of having something that I think is going to mix nicely with them. I might go a little different. I'm going to go with a transparent oxide, so it's kind of like a burnt sienna. I figured that will warm up a little things. It was going to gray out some colors. So I'm going to start off with that. You know, I didn't say a whole lot about the design too much on this one either. Like, you know, this having this big shape off center, making sure that was off center too. So this is not, so we don't have this thing right in the middle. There we go, little toning. This should mix in pretty nicely with the colors. Like I said, just gray out some of these. If I have any problems, and keep this one corner up here. If I keep it warm enough like that, that's all. You're in good shape. Okay, like I said, keep this main shape just off center. Let the shadow or reflection in the water pull it back into center. So drawing it out, you know, I want to keep everything about 1/3 area up here. Just off center, but then let the shadow here pull you back around. So, all right. Yeah, that's my drawing right there. That's what we're going to work with, right? What I'm going to do is paint the shape, just paint shapes, paint the big shape thing, and then use the reflection of the sky to hone in the shape. And that's all it is. The stuff inside, you see all this little stuff in here, just like how you paint sky holes and everything else in trees and things. Anything, all these reflections that are outlined by this dark are going to have to be just a step darker than if it was, you know, the same at the same level across somewhere else and without that dark around it. So just a contrast thing. So dark ones. I'm still going to start off with go through my phthalo greens and the alizarins. I'm just going to use those closer to the bottom a little bit. This is on the phthalo green side coming up. And
It's way up there.
what? All right. So I'm just marking the spots here a little bit. This is probably a little bit too far over. And with that, just that warmth already in there, that warmed up this coolness of that green. You can just see it pulling the green out. So it is right. It is right. I could bring this down a lot farther now and just use it as my dark. But I wasn't really planning on that. So let's, before I keep going and stuff like that, come back with a alizarin in this very bottom. That's really the darkness I was seeing. And then we'll take it up. I'm going to bring it down to since I left so much transparent green in here to really change the color of this. I expected it to be a little bit more purpley at this in that area, but it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So I don't know why I'm so surprised, but I am. That it's going to be nice and dark and stuff. There are some areas in here that are going to work out really well for it. But basically, I'm putting it in and just thinning it out a little bit. There is one spot over here. It kind of does come off the painting. Those are nice spots to have in your painting because even though they draw you off a little bit, they can also bring you back in into the painting. But also, they give you a nice place to transition your colors too. I mean, you can run a cool all the way down and then change it from that. After you hit there, you can change it to a warm and the same value. And it's a really, nice to have. At least think about your paintings. Okay, I'm just going to basically paint this in, I think. This shape wise. Bunny ears on this one. Over here, a little bunny reflection. Okay. Like I said, not worried about or thinking about the lily pad shapes. Really just thinking about sort of darks where I'm going to have to be a little darker in the area where I got to be a little lighter. Like it don't have to be perfect at this point because the next color will going to come in and do a lot of things to it. Doesn't look like it did much, but yeah, sometimes you just have to, wind the whole thing out. All right, next one. This one is pretty much the one I was thinking was going to do a lot of the work here. This is phthalo green and oxide red light. And it's not gonna, since I already have my dark in here, and it's mixed stuff, it's not gonna do a whole lot more. So you won't see too much of it going in here. What? At this point right there. Start to see a little bit of the green start to show through right here in this area here. There we go. So I'm going to keep it coming down. Right here would be this thing. So at least in my painting. So this is just oxide red and phthalo green. This is on the red green, the green side. And you probably can't even barely see the changes that's going on. It's very subtle. But that's the thing is, these subtleties are supposed to happen right about here too. You don't want them too in the darks. You don't want too many subtleties. You really can't see them, but this one's probably gone a little dark. That's just getting all this together. So see that green side. A little bit. Well, let's just take that there. Worked out pretty nice there. That's about the right color, so we might not even have much to do there. Okay. I'm going to put it also started back in here behind here too. Just rub my brush out. This is that phthalo green and oxide red. This is on the, of course, on the oxide green side yet. I'm just run it into that area there, just to clean my brush before I get to the next colors. Okay, next colors. Basically, I'm off to the transparent side now. This is transparent oxide and phthalo green. I'm just going to rub it into this area here. That's why I wanted to get that other green in here, because I kind of felt like just looking at the color going, maybe there needs a little more green in here first before I go in here too brown. Yeah, really darkening this bunny ears too much. That's okay. I can lighten them up. I got lots of colors to go in there yet. Basically now I'm into my greens. This is cad orange and phthalo green. This is on the green side. And I was going, man, the one thing about the cads, when you get into the cad colors, they are opaque. So they are almost like using white in your colors and stuff. They have a thickness and some heaviness they're going to give your paint. I'm using that there, and I'm also going to use, I can just see it in a few spots in here. I just could go a little lighter than what I did. This color should start to come in the shadows of this guy here. Okay. Now last really strong color. This is again cad orange, and this is more on cad orange than it is on the phthalo green side. And we're going to work that right into this shadow, this area right up in here, and then back in. It can be a little, this one doesn't have to be too much of anything here. I'm gonna use it just a little bit and lighten up these ears here. These, I call them ears because they look like a little bunny here. So this just the shape. I'm just gonna try just doing this basically a silhouette. Just working this color back into that silhouette a little bit in those areas. And then over here too, got a little heavy. Okay. Got a lot of green on my brush. It's always the things to know about. Think about what's on your brush. If you want to clean them out, stop and clean out your brushes. You can do that. A lot of times, what I'm doing just I know what color's in there. I can run it out. I got to get to a cool color, so I'm going to start painting the background. But down in here, it still, has a little bit of warmth and green in this bottom area. So I'm going to start there. So I'm going to start off with some colors, medium tones. These are ones that have just a little bit white in them, but it will help me get off some of the green and get me to some cooler colors. This color I'm using is Oxide Red and Phthalo Green with just a touch of white. This is a secondary color. And that's supposed to be on the green side. Not green enough. And I'm just going to use it for the corners and the very kind of the bottom lick of the painting here before we can give it some darkness down there, and you can start to see the richness of colors changing from lights to darks here too. Basically, like I said, just running a little bit of the color out of here. Get these. Okay, now as you can see, my color starting to get out of my brush. Now I can just easily just dip in oil and just pull the rest out, and so it won't pollute a lot of my other colors. So now I can go back to these ones with just a little bit of phthalo green in them and alizarin. Okay. I am going to just do a little like underpainting, a skinny little thin coat of this alizarin and phthalo green. So like I say, it's kind of thin and a little bit of oil into it. So this is a secondary color, or it could have been even, like I said, the top color here. And I'm just going to run it in here a little bit. I'm going to keep green on this side, and I'm going to go alizarin on this side. Boy, that was heavy. Need to get a little bit more oil in my brush. What I do is just thin this out a little bit. And so this side here, this left side here, I'm going with a little more red in it, in the color. So it's phthalo green and alizarin, but it's just a touch more red alizarin in it. And then on this side, basically after as I go around after the bunting ears here, I'll be going more on the blue side, or phthalo green side. So I'm just going to work this out too a little bit. Just a little bit of paint, a little bit of oil, keeping it thin, keeping it in the shadow areas here, thinning it out as you get out here. Okay. A little thick. Push that out, thin it out a little bit more. And I can start to shape these things too. I mean, when I finally get down to here and start getting some right colors in here, we'll be able to lighten these areas up really nice. But also I want to just, you know, at the same time, think about transparencies, keep an eye on what's happening in this water underneath here too. Just by thinning out the oil a little bit, I can get a little bit of texture going on in there that can kind of resemble what's happening down there. What a mess. All right, time to go. That's pretty much will take me through all my, I don't need a whole lot more colors down there. I'm going to jump to my main colors. And this first one, I'm going to start off with the alizarin and phthalo green and white. And this is going to be like I said, almost number 3, maybe 4 value, pretty high. And I'm going to start it up top. And when I do this, I'm just going to sort of think about other things that are going to be in that water back there. You know, lily pads and things. Basically, I'm going to start doing the shaping of this outside thing a little bit. Don't have to do the insides, just get to the very outsides of it. Get down here to the bottom where it has just a little, looks like that must be a container of some sort that holds it in there. These guys are very, I mean, I have them up at the lake and stuff, and they just like take over really quickly. So I'm going to keep the thick paint in the middle of this area here, and then pull it to where I have color painting or underpainting done, ready to go here. And then just pull the two together and leave a lot. Why I did the underpainting was because I wanted texture back in here. I don't want to just do one color back in here. I wanted to have other colors mix to feel like there's ground underneath there. So that's why I didn't, I did the underpainting, leaving it very thin. So when I come in back with this stuff, it's going to grab and put down fresh paint, but it's not going to do a perfect mix. I mean, it's not going to be a perfect coverage. So it's going to have a little bit of fun funkiness to it. And it is a pretty light touch too. It's not a. Okay, now I'm looking at it and starting to see what's what. See what's a shape of a lily pad. And this is just the phthalo green and alizarin. This again on the alizarin side I'm working with to get to this point. And you can see when I start putting it in heavy like there, what happens. This is where it needed to be. The reason I put it in heavy is because that's where it needed to be. Some real color. And then over here, when I pull it out into these guys, thin it out and spread it out a little bit, comes all this other stuff. Okay. That's alizarin. Okay, this is now, I'm on this side of the bunny ears. I'm going to switch to the phthalo green side of the color. Same value, just a little bit, just a different value, slight different grayness to it. Looks like I could have went a little bit darker in that area too. I'm going to come back first. Or I keep going, darken in this area here. Have a gradate over here a little bit more. All right. Now go back in. Color back down a little bit. Darken this in just a little bit darker if I get over here to this edge. Oh, man, just here to. I'm going to go with some alizarin side over here towards these guys. Just going to work that into the green a little bit. Work it back to the alizarin side over to here. All right. So that's starting to work. Now I can go to the next one. We'll just slide over to the oxide red and phthalo green side. Again, very high key colors. And I was thinking it was going to go down in here, but almost too light. Too light. Let's go on the green side. Let's see if that helps. Not much. Almost too bright. Darken them up a little bit. Yeah. 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 So I had to darken these guys in to more. Let me see if this value is. Probably closer to 5. This is phthalo green and a little transparent oxide, or not regular oxide. Just a little bit. Almost too bright still. Especially in here. There you go. The nice thing is when you start to see underneath things like this in this area, the painting and stuff, you really start to, you can get away with a lot more brush work in there. I'm gonna go with a little more of the transparent oxide, a little bit more of that tan brown. Work that in here in the ground too. Got a lot of cool green in here, and it's just not showing up. I figure the little bit of warmth will make the green show up a little bit better. Okay, good enough. I think I can probably go darker right there. I'm going to the red side. Just underneath these, where these lily pads are going to go in here. Just feels like it could go a little bit darker. I always say mix with a knife and stuff. Always a good reason for that, because when I mix with every time I do it with a brush, I do it all the time, but every time I do it, it's just like I mix up so much color that I don't need, and always, you always are taking it to a different spot than it needs to be. It's just so easy to do with it. You don't have that much any control. I'm just looking for little places I can put this alizarin, more alizarin purple, kind of a purple in here. Sometimes you can Find it right here against this green. That's just, no, it's too dark, but no, we'll fix it. Yeah. So it's always just, this is the toughest part right here, just getting these two colors to work together fine. And then cutting out the other stuff. I would say definitely make sure you have enough left over color wise with the alizarin and phthalo green. Probably, let me see. Let me do a few of these things for you. Kind of a grayed out version of these things. Probably if you use this color here, value here, you can come in here and you'll be able to do a lot of the sky hole things with that value. This value is probably right around 6. Let's say 6 in the water. Not doesn't work for everywhere too. This is just all right. So okay. All right, so that can be pretty much it. I'm just going to tone down in between a couple little stuff up here a little bit. Like I said, I'm even just getting in between to get rid of some of this orange in here. All right. Let's see. I'm going to switch to a different brush. I'm probably going to go to a bristle brush. I'm going to put in just a little bit of texture into this one area here. And it really goes in nice with a bristle brush. I'm going to take just a little bit of the yellow from the lilies and stuff, the lily pad here thing, lily itself. Just wanted to create a little bit of texture in that area over here, up here a little bit. See, what I also was trying to do is keep this really kind of smooth, even though you can see different kind of variations of color and stuff, but it's kind of doesn't seem like real brush strokey, but they're all kind of a little bit blended, but not over blended. Because what happens when you do that, then you have, when you do come back in and put a mark or anything like that, it stands out really well. Right now, I'm just adding just a little bit of texture to it here, a little yellow green here. Probably too much, but just trying to keep things moving. All right. Let's start putting in some lily pads, and that will really start to take over real quick. I'm going to erase mine out because that will help. Because I put in these shadows in certain areas, and I want to make sure that when I do lay them back down, that they are going in the right spot. So I'm going to start off with the key ones, like little ones that I know right next to strong shadow here. Get around here. Just pull out some of the color, move it around a little bit. They said, get that oval right. Now, the size right. Okay. Like that. This one next to it. Just pulling out the paint. Just trying to save a little bit of all that painting I did underneath. Find out how, yeah, it'll work out. Not too many lily pads, but they're, as you get going and stuff, yeah. There aren't quite a little bit more than I was thinking. Okay. Then the lily itself. I'm going to go right about here. Definitely clean out a nice spot for that. And everything up in here, maybe this guy here. Pull him out, and that'll be it. Probably too big. All right. Nice synthetic for these guys. I like synthetics for this. One that's big enough to do it. This is just a hair small, so I'm going to go to my regular one. It's like a number 12. That's a little bit big for what I need. That's what I'm looking for. Color wise, I do already have color mixed in. That's a great thing. I can go here with. I'm going to go with the mix of phthalo green and cat orange mixes with white. I just do one side and then just twist it for the other side. And no repeat. Just shift the color a little bit. The thing is, each time, even though the colors are moving in here and stuff, a lot of the colors that are, all that paint I took out of here, it's still affecting it. It's still in here. So go from a light one, go to a dark one. You know, do your light ones with fresh paint. And then the paint you got left, now it's not quite perfect anymore. You can go to the one right next to it or something like that. And that residual paint that's already down on the ground on here will mix in. Just gives you a different shift of color as you go. If you do these first ones pretty well, you know, these guys down in here, you know, you work on those guys, make these guys work, and you know, the other ones can be a lot softer. That's why I was saying even back in here, I'm not even going to draw them in because they are just going to be marks like this. They're not going to be thicks and thins. Now, as they get thinner and stuff up here, just a little thinner. Every time I do it, it's going to go from one edge and then just press down and pull up. These guys get grayed out a little bit more too. So do these guys over here. And then we'll get on to the lily. A little bit more. Then all it is really coming back into these guys a little bit with a few colors that we already have around here now. Just going for the basic tone of each one, you know. The more warmer, is it cooler, is it grayer? And that's about it. Finding these ones right here in the middle are really kind of a darker, warmer green. As soon as they get out here, they get cooler. But, you know, it could be affect the color of the water too. Then there's a few lilies or lily pads up here, and they're kind of yellowish white. That's still a very high key color. Basically, what I'm using here is some of this watercolor we put down in here, and adding just a little more lily color to it. The yellow lily. We haven't painted yet, but I put it, add that to a little bit of this oxide red and transparent oxide red and phthalo green, and all the way down, you know, number 3 value here. And I was able to basically do some lily pads that are back in here. A little bit bright. And then bring them around a little bit. These guys. Values, you know, I'm going to darken these guys up a little bit more in this side. Keep them light back there, pretty much where they are. I'm not going to go too much farther. Let's see. Let's paint the lily itself now and get that, at least get that done. Okay. Oh, we still got plenty of time. We should finish this one pretty easily. Good. Definitely, this is that cad red, cad orange, phthalo green first. We started with, we added yellow to it, cad yellow piece of it. We added cad yellow to it. Then just a touch of white, just to lighten it up. This goes pretty much in the center there. I'm going to put it in just a little bit heavier. That guy. I'm going to switch off to just a smaller brush. Stay with the synthetic. And I'm just going to go around it. This is I'm going to do the top area of this lily. And just dip my brush just slightly in oil. Just barely touch oil and grab some paint, the yellow white paint. I want to be doing these bottom little leaves coming out. I want to put it in and pull it and let it come off. Repeat, but clean my brush, clean oil, Just flick it a little bit. Really only these, there's only 3 or 4 of these that need to be really done well. On each side. Just tone it down when I go behind it. And take it right into the yellow too. These lily, not leaves, but God, what are they called? They're having a little noticing how they work in patterns of 2 here. You know, 2 together, one just a little shorter than the other up here. Okay. Just a little bit of oil again. Just getting sure that's going nice and clean. I should have been pulling them out all up there too. Just a little awkward from this angle. Put that lily pad underneath it, behind it. Probably should put that in first. Use my brush. Try it one more time to get that one just a little thicker too. The green out of here, my brush. Okay. Just a little more yellow in it. To touch it red like we talked about. Touch of oil, now I have it mixed. Get that guy in. Oh, that was our big thing, just one flower. Might hit that yellow one more time here too. Okay. All right. I can rework a lot of these lily pads now. A lot of things you're going to find out is, they had that opening on them and stuff. I'm going to go back into This is alizarin and phthalo green back in here. Work that into a little bit of the undersides of these guys a little bit. You want to get that shadow right underneath it. Just a little line. Then on, and it's almost like reverse on the far side of the lily. You know, shadow on in the water here. And then on this side of the lily, on this side, just a slight curl of the lily pad itself. So use that to straighten out your things. That's what I view. That, you know, and then secondary colors. Roll when you get to those secondary colors. You know, anything like on this one, this has a little more blue tint to the top of it. Maybe not quite that. And more on the lizards. Let's see this green. Okay. Just a little bit more there. And then getting the, like I said about doing the all the sky holes in here. Putting them in with a paint, not the same color, a little bit darker than what you would think it would be. So it sits right, gets the contrast. So instead of using the real value, we're using a value that's slightly darker. And then go back in for adjustments. You have to look. That's with the real value from here over here to here and stuff. It's just a little bit. Gonna go a little bit lighter, a little darker. Now I can get in here and do a few more other things now, like putting in the dead leaves here. Basically just a twist. All I need to do is really a twist in that color and then come back. I like putting in, when I do these things, you got to put them in pretty kind of quick. You know, just throw it up there. Basically because you take your time and do too much of a, you know, spend time on it. Stuff just all of a sudden it just becomes it just stands out a little bit more too much. Doesn't sit right. Might gray out some of this purple. Start putting in these guys a little bit deeper. Okay. Go back in and just. So most of the leftover things now to do is a lot of cleanup. You know, come back and clean up these openings on the lilies. One thing's definitely want to move them around. Make sure that you can get a couple that are pointed in there back into the painting. Don't want too many these mouths pointing outside here, but well, you want them to move your point in to the painting. Just use them as pointers. That's what I do. Not all of them, but well, most of them. A lot of things. All right. And then just gonna keep going here a little bit. This one could be green, a little greener. We do have that lily pad up there. I'll just keep going as I go here and just put in these other lilies back in here. Well, I didn't put in the yellow ones. Kind of a, see if I can do it with this. All I'm using is the insides of that to a few of these things around some of the lilies that have a little more age to them that have, started to yellow and go away already, dying away. That. Okay, now that basically I have pretty much all these guys done, now I'm just going to go in and simply add in a little bit of a highlight to these guys, and just going to be grayed out blue or warm or yellow going into these guys. It's more to the outside working toward going inside, more like a little pie. Okay, just gonna go say that's pretty close. Now I'm just gonna look for little things in the water, maybe some reds or something, grayed out colors. Nothing too bright, nothing, just I know I said red, but kind of a grayed out reddish, you know. You can see them over here on the reeds and stuff, and then stuff like leaves sticking coming through here too. And use those to kind of direct the eye around the painting. Just that little bit of red will do it. Now the reed and the last little thing, so always put some air into it. Maybe put a, oh, there's a couple more little guys I like to put in. See, anything underneath the water will need to be keep a soft edge. So putting a wet into wet, always a good way to do it. This really starts to build a complication to the painting and stuff as you go like this. Feels, Joint starts to feel a little better. Just the layering starts to take over finally. Trying to get this, gonna do this one length in here. It's on the bottom of the ground of the thing. Just a little too. Last little thing, creating some air, just some stuff that's, just little teeny dots. Trying to get dots on regular water and then into the shadows too. Not many, just one or two. That's all you need. And move them around. Dark ones back in the back. Usually you're going to be using like a what's that? That's oxide red and pale green. I'm just using the red side here just to outline the bottoms of these lily pads that are, and it's not all of them. I was just the bottom halves of them that are not the top halves. So it's the way basically creating a lot of shadows and stuff like that. If you put them in with a knife, they can get in so thin, and they look good. Doing here is just trying to recreate this a little bit with my knife. Give it a little bit of thinness and thickness and stuff. And use this for shadows for these guys back in here. So that is basically it's Cad Red and Phthalo Green back in here. Only got back in here, just most of it is just for the slits and the lily pads. Okay. We'll take the exact same color. I think I'm just going to do these, lines that kind of go through here. Just put them in like that. That's good because that gives it some reach too. That'll be about it. I'm putting in, like I said, with a phthalo green and Cad Red. And I'm putting with this stuff, and that way, if I need them thicker or anything else, I just touch with a brush, and it should thicken up pretty nicely. All right. The last little thing I always, like I said, is doing is giving an air is by taking got a lot of little things, just little kind of dots. This will be things that sit on top of the water, and that's why we like to keep that water really clean. I want to make sure I get it to go even into, these shadows here. Get that. That'll do it. Let's see what you guys got. I'll bring in on this one. So even on the lilies, just a dot just brings them to life. It brings a sense of realism to them. Even when you got a flat area like that, just putting a dot or something, warm dot in the middle of it. We're talking little teeny things. And that'll do it. Good. So there's the bottom. You can see how that turned out. Looks good. Top. Yeah. A lot more color than in the photo. We pushed it a little bit, had some fun. So, it looks okay. I mean, there's always, and then a little finger work at the end. Kind of brings the artist into the painting too, a little bit when you show your marks. So who painted here? Who painted? We got Anne Marie. Did you paint?
Yes.
There we go.
This is a lot more complicated than I thought.
No way. This is an easy one.
No.
Nice. There's a lot of layering of
There's
colors.
a lot of layering, but I started, so whatever.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, lily pads could be bigger.
Yeah.
That's about, I think that's the problem you're having with that. The lily pads could be almost
Twice
the size. Twice
Yeah.
the size. Right spots, just a lot. That's fine. I think you just blow them up downwards and stuff. You'd be fine, or upwards, whatever way you can. You don't have to really overdo them. Yeah. No, I think I see your colors coming in nice. I think you try to keep up, and that's really cool.
I like the background.
Yeah, the background I thought was pretty was going to be right there when you get all the other schmutz and stuff in there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Just a couple bigger lily pads, and sometimes, it's just a few of those guys bigger. That's it. They do come in a lot of variety of sizes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Color's good though. All right, Cindy, and then the Sarah. Cindy, we'll hear one of these days. Good color, really good color. Good
I think
job
it
on
looks
that.
like a hot mess. It's not working for me.
These
look like they're floating. I mean, like just
they look no. That you know why? You don't have the shadow underneath them yet. The bottom little line shadow just a little bit bigger underneath them. And not all of them. And then it's just a little light, a little water just to catch an edge on those things. They don't though. The ones in the middle do not look like they're floating. They look like they're just curled. They have a little curl to them, and that's cool. That's what they do. That's why I was saying them. Now
the rabbit ears they're too strong or something. They're just
you got to work a little warmer green into the tips of them.
okay.
And bring it back. Yeah, rabbit ears. Oh God. Oh no, that's what it looked like to me. So but your the plant itself looks really good. And back there, you did a lot of nice detail work. I would, yeah, watch the one corner, your top right corner there. Just oh, there it is. Okay, it is. It was catching a lot of light. It looked brown,
Oh, okay.
and when you turned it a little bit, the green showed up. So
The
when
other
the
thing
sun,
is, just kind of imply this. I mean, I'm not getting that, how you put that in there too much. You just kind of imply a little bit of garbage in there.
garbage. Yes, I know. That's the thing. Is keep it soft. Yeah, yeah. The garbage is a little bit of a few little things. It could be a dead, little leaves and little things. I'm starting to get a lot of that showing through. I think it's just it's really a subtle change of warmth into the bottom there. Just a little bit, work it in just a little bit more. Really taking it easy and gently putting it in there and getting that the difference, the gradations to just softly blend. That's all it is. And that you're real close. You're real close. I think just a little bit more pushed back down there in the bottom will really help it. And then just finish off your lily pads are just a little too beautifully equal spaced at the bottom, those four and stuff. Look for the couple little small ones on it in there, but that's it. And then it's noogies. Your lily turned out really well.
Oh, thanks, Beth.
Good job on that. It stands out. I'd say now look, yeah, now just the little schmutz and stuff in there, and just that'll break up that shadow now. Just a little,
Down in here.
Yeah. Well, in the big shadow,
Up
big
in
shadow
here?
where all the lily pads and the lily is. Those little teeny purples that are showing through from the sky, or through the reeds and stuff are showing. Those will be a nice connection to the thing. I'd say look for those too when you're there. But
You mean
otherwise,
down in here?
yeah, right in there,
Okay.
right in there. There's just a few of them. Take it easy on those too. You don't have to do too many of them. You just have to do a few of them to kind of break that shape up, just a hair more.
Okay,
But otherwise, Cindy, this is pretty nice, really nice.
thank you.
Good
I'm
job.
struggling with it. Thank you.
Good. We'll see you later today, I'm sure.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank
All
you.
right, Sarah, how'd you do? Did you have fun?
Yes. Let's see if we can see it.
Just turn it a little bit more.
At the light.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
You're getting glare on it, and I know it looks darker probably than it is, right? Okay, that's just what I figured. Good shapes, very good shapes right now. You got the really good structure in. Beautiful lily. Your lily stands out like way out there. That's good. That's good to have because when you finish putting all the pads and stuff around it and stuff, yeah, it's going to get lost a little bit. So even putting it in like you did, it's going to be a really good thing because it's not really the star of the show, but it's something you give the viewer to make them happy to look at it. Your lily pads are probably a little bit on the small side and down there, but good positioning, really just a little bit, just make them a little bit wider. Shape wise, I think the shape's right too. The ovals are right. And that will help with the spacing, the space of the thing up top. Yeah, it's coming along. And then you still got a little bit more, probably a little more darkness just to it on the. I'm just saying that because of the glare on it, that it might be the glare too. Just a little bit on the bottom, a little bit more darkness to hold the water in.
Okay.
That little stuff, and then a lot of the little schmutzes stuff, the little dots and things like that. When that just complicates it up and makes it look like it really, feels natural. And but You're right there, just a little bit bigger on the lily pad. That's all it is, really. Yeah. Anything you're thinking?
This was fun. It does
Yeah.
look a little darker in the video, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay. It looks darker in the video. Okay, good. Well, you'll take a picture. I know you'll finish yours up pretty fast too. Good job and good work.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm coming back.
You want me to come back? You want me to go to you?
Coming back.
All
Um,
right. Let's go back to
I-
Anne Marie. We got time.
I just want to see about the size of the lily pads. I kind of blew them out a little bit. The color's not there yet, but
Okay.
you see how they're bigger?
Yeah, that feels better. And you don't even have to do all of them because you can have a lot of variety in shapes. So,
Yeah.
And I took the picture, so I'm giving you permission. You don't have to go exactly. Yeah, I saw those bottom ones. They are bigger.
Okay.
That is a good size. That is good size because that plant, we're not even sure what size that plant is. I'll probably turn around and look at mine and go say the same thing. I'm like, oh, those pads are too small. So I'm not going to turn around and look. All right. So this was number 6. This was supposed to be our last class. But I had a cancellation in a workshop, which is pretty sad, but no, it's no big deal. It was out in LA. So that one got canceled. So I do have another week of if you guys want to come back next week, we can paint it something else again.
Yes.
Hey,
All right. So
what happened to the shepherd anyway?
the shepherd.
The shepherd, you said something last time about the shepherd and the sheep.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was looking at the photo a little bit better. I shot it. I thought it was better than what it was.
Okay.
Because you get these things in your head, and it really wasn't that good. I shot it through the window, and so there's a lot of glare in it. And I know what it is, but your brain overpowers your eyes sometimes, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't enough information for you guys to paint from. I thought it was because it was just fuzzy. Everything was a little fuzzier. I saw it clearly, but I just said, I wanted to go out on one that I know was going to be really nice and a good one to paint.
Well, that's one problem I have all the time is my brain sees it instead of my eyes. I see it how I think in my brain it should be, but
Right.
that's not how it is. And that's a tough one to get over.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. So the tough part is to get your viewer to use their brain, over their eyes. And when you can do that, that's really special.
No, you mean use your eyes over your brain. You don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Looking to see how it really is instead of how you think it should be. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yep.
I do. So okay, I'll figure out something for next week for you guys. Anyway.
Yay.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I know you guys. That's no problem. I will just gonna paint anyway, so it's no big deal.
Thank you.
All right, girls.
Have a
great
good week. Stay
Have a good
dry.
weekend.
Ciao.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.